Hey y'all, it's Jason from On-Screen Authority. We specialize in upgrading your visual presentation for your digital products and courses, content, ads, webinars, podcasts. Basically, anytime you get on camera, you deserve to look and sound fresh. Plus, we got a bunch of new offers coming up designed to blow up your funnels and your business and to take more pride in what you do. I treat my business as an art project. I'm here to have a good time and create excellence with excellent people. So I'm joining Sam on this episode, and we're just going to let loose. I'm honored to be chosen for this episode of Evolved.
I think what just happened, Jason, I got a whole lesson in audio-visual mechanics before we even started. We've gone through the paces. Welcome to the show.
I mean, dude, that's just regular technology troubleshooting. It's like a skill you inadvertently need these days.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I've been telling so many people about you over the last few months since I first saw your video. And remember what I told you when your ad popped up? Do you remember what I said?
Not precisely. Got to remind me.
I was so pissed I couldn't find it again because I was like, I got to get this course. I have got to get this course and I've got to tell people about it, because what you're able to do with people's audio and giving them the authority once you get their stuff looking so much better is unbelievable. And I just want to say kudos to you, because I have done a lot of video training and a lot of audio training, but yours by far, in my opinion, is one of the best I have ever seen, if not the best. So congratulations on a lifetime achievement of impressing Sammy, the Filipino.
Well, that's a high bar to cross, so thank you. And I just feel like if I created a system that is actually easy to follow, and if I really put myself in the shoes of someone who literally doesn't want to learn it, then I would know what incremental steps need to be crossed and no more. Don't confuse people. Just give them exactly what they need and nothing more. So I aim to please. I live to serve. So this is it. People get great results.
And we know it's so funny. After we started talking, I just realized how sweet you are as a person. And that is, it just comes through in the way that you coach and the way that you teach. So it's a real treat to see the success that you're having with this. And so I love that for you. I want to get into it because all of the people in our show are the health and wellness entrepreneur elites of the world. Every single one of them that I have worked with has had an issue with making their video look as good as mine and yours, right? It has been a absolute befuddlement to me. And with that, why do you think that is? One, why do you think people get so caught up with that? And then two, I want to talk about how you fix that for them. But why do you think that is so challenging for people?
I think mainly because we have only ever seen with our eyeballs. And they have autofocus, and they have auto exposure, and they are stuck at a 45-degree focal length. And it's just like, how do you teach a fish to see water, right? Like, now you have to think like a camera, and cameras have a variable exposure. They're very reactive to light, different kinds of lighting. And whereas your eye, if you looked into a dark hole, your eyes would adjust and you can see the details inside. A camera, you have to tell it to adjust. Even on manual mode, it doesn't know exactly what you want it to do. So that's where things start to get confusing. You're like, this looks good to me. My room looks great to my eye. Why does my camera see it like just looking like total bogus shit? And it's because you have to think the way a camera thinks and see the way a camera sees. And it's just not, it's intuitive once you know a few things. And there's just some basic rules and fundamentals as far as manipulating light as though it's a physical object or like water falling across an object, and following its rules, being able to predict the behavior of light and sound in a room under very strict, tight parameters. We're only talking about this, your face on a screen with one or two lights, and how to balance them and how to just see the way a camera sees. And the cool thing is, I realize that it sounds like a creative process. And for most people, when they hear creative process, they shut down. They're like, dude, I don't want a creative. I don't want to do anything creative. I want a set of rules. I want a guide. So I took a creative process and turned it into a standardized process that anyone can follow and implement for themselves, and then make a few minor tweaks, change the wall color, and do the things that they intuitively want to do and get a great result, basically no matter what they do, as long as they follow the basic directions.
That's so good. And the basic directions. So let's get into that in a little bit. But before we get into the basic directions on that, what has been one of the most shocking, I guess, revelations, or not, I guess the word I'm thinking of is the benefit of people once they up-level their video, and what is a really cool story that you have of somebody that had, it's all over your website, but what's a cool story of somebody that had a really bad video and then you got a hold of them and then they transformed it? What's one of your favorite stories about that?
Well, it's like kind of two reasons I'm telling the story. Like, I was running the course for a few months, and when you sell an online course, it's like you should expect like a large number of people to buy the course and not even take it. And then an even larger number of people to buy it, fiddle with it, and not really do the thing, not really take you seriously, you'd follow your directions. But a few months in, I was looking through our community and just checking in to see how people are doing. And then Scotty posted this video and he's like, hey, did I do it right? Like, how's my mic sound? I'm like, holy shit, he's perfect. He followed all the directions. He did everything right. And that's when I knew, because when I wrote the course, I'm telling you, I wrote it like 90,000 words on a script and organized the information extremely precisely. It took me 3 months just to write it. Very deliberate, man. I'm very, very deliberate. I really wanted to just do it once the right way. And I had a feeling that it could be done. And once I saw the first real case study where this dude just didn't talk to me at all and just followed the directions, I was like, my job is done, dude. Like, I have nothing left to say. Of course, I added things and made things more clear and direct over time, but that was validating to me. And his story was that he's I think a tax consultant. And since up-leveling his video quality and posting more reels and showing up to his Zoom calls this way, he books more calls. I think he's at 3 times more calls and closes 3 times more at like a higher close rate. And people explicitly say like, Scotty, like, I liked you before. I was already impressed, but now you just look like so there. You look like you're showing up, like you're putting effort into who you are and what you do. And a client or a prospect just feels taken care of by someone who can afford the time and effort to do that for them. Show up for me. And I've just cut that time and effort and money way, way, way down. So you might have.
So good. Well, even what I learned from you too, and this goes with when it comes to selling or when it comes to engagement, I didn't realize that having my camera where I can look at you and have eye contact, how much of a difference that made with the shows that I was making, with the engagement I was having, and actually the enjoyment I had in my conversations, right? There's something it doesn't feel good when I'm looking at you here and your camera's there. It's like you wouldn't do that when you're talking. So it's so weird that you would do that on the computer. So just even learning some of those basics, and I've been doing this for a hot minute, man. I've been streaming music for the last 5 years online. And the stuff that you showed me just blew me away. Did you always have a background in video? I feel like you said it in one of your videos, but tell me again, where did this deep knowledge, like real mastering, come from?
My background in the arts is in a few different categories, and they all have an effect on what I do today. So first, I'm a self-taught drummer. I've been playing drums since I was like 13, just instantly knew how to play, very intuitive. And I became an actor. I played drums in musical theater in the pit, and then I was like, I want to do that. I jumped on stage and just became an actor. And then I got a degree in sculpture, in fine art. And then after college, I got into voiceover. So I was a professional voiceover artist for about 8-10 years. And at the same time, I was doing photography just because I was tired of working in my closet all alone, like a crazy person, literally in a padded room. That's what I say. And through all those things combined, I slowly iterated things together, teaching online courses in this category, that category, then combining things in entrepreneurship and until we have what we have today on Screen Authority, through a series of being asked for things and carefully listening to what people are in need of and seeing what I can create and compounding the skills that I have. And interestingly, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I think what really drove my brain into thinking in terms of systems and scalability and repeatability was actually drumming. Because the kind of drumming that I did growing up in heavy metal, and it's not like your drunk, crazy, angry metal. It's like more of like your sophisticated European virtuoso, like musicianships, like metal for musicians kind of thing. It's so complex and so fast and so specific. And none of it's improvised. It's all memorized. It has to be repeatable. And you have to create like sticking patterns that land the correct hand on the downbeat again, or else you'll get confused. So I had to create systems that can repeat. And you break it down to rudimentary structures and then you chunk together the pieces in a way that are tasteful and in the right place at the right time, but also work mechanically and can be repeated and performed to perfection every time, regardless of your energy level. And it got me thinking in terms of what's going to be repeatable, sustainable. And even as a 13, 14-year-old, it's like, okay, I can't land on my left hand. I got to land on the right. And now I'm just like, okay, I can't land on that automation. I have to say this first and then the webinar. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's the same brain doing 10 different things.
And
it's
it's
really the same
so crazy
skill set.
that you say that, because I didn't remember you played drums, but I can totally see that in you. I can totally see that rhythmicness, because like I have drummers, same, and I get along with them so well because I'm a guitarist. And I'm just like, what are we going to do? I'm noodling all over the place. But I see why your product is so well put together and so succinct, and why the step-by-steps, then the way that you've structured it makes so much sense for people. Because let's be honest, the problem that people have with getting their video and their audio set up is not because they can't do it. Not that they don't have the resources, but it's hard to do it step by step. And I think that you've really done like that. You've taken it and diced it down into such easy, actionable things for people to do. But my question for you, once you get their video set up, why do you think people suck on film so bad? Like, you're great at it. I feel pretty good at it. But what do you think is the biggest reason people are not good on film?
I mean, someone like you're a natural. You just stepped up to the camera and said like, oh, I'm at home. And then for the people that aren't, it's like, oh, well, they said make a personal brand. And oh shit, what do? They psych themselves out. I think it's because they think too fast. And they're like, okay, this is going to go out to like potentially millions of people. I better not fuck this up. And that is the last thing you should be thinking about when you're performing. And the easiest way to shortcut that, and honestly, I do not just step up to a camera and just start talking. Actually, never, ever. I use a teleprompter that is voice dictated, that only scrolls when I speak. So I write my script extremely deliberately. I write while I walk, while I'm in a good state, because your state's the most important thing. So I think of what I'm going to say when I'm in a good state. And then when I step up in the camera is not the state where you want to be constructing a sentence, because some people can do it. And I think it's 1% of people really can do it. The rest of us need a script. And traditional teleprompters suck because they just keep scrolling. They dictate your pace. Yeah. You don't want the machine to dictate your pace. The machine is on your time, and the audience is on your time. You take as long as you need to get your point across. Not too slow, don't bore people. Not too fast, don't sound desperate. It just depends on your state. Get yourself in the right state, and you'll deliver better. I think people suck because they set themselves up to have the wrong state before they start recording. They don't prepare the right way. They spend their time trying to get the right take instead of spending the time scripting ahead of time, so they can spend less time getting a better take in less time instead of sweating on camera. You know, like they'll be on take 50 and then they're just like nervous and horrible. By the time they finally said what they meant to say, they're literally sweating. So of course it's going to turn out bad. So that's the thing, man. People just need systems. They need systems as far as their audio and their lighting. I mean, what you said about lighting, it's like they need a step-by-step, because if you just hand them a light, it's like, how hard could it be? Point a light at your face. There's a lot of variables, dude. Like, they don't even think about color temperature and angle of light. You don't point a light directly at your face. You point it slightly away. You feather it away because it's softer. You wouldn't know that, man. And you don't care to know it. You just want to know how to get that look. Let me get that look.
Let me get that look.
Here's the shortcut. Don't do it. Like, I've measured it out. get a desk this size, put it exactly here, this high, tilt it exactly this way, set it to these settings. Don't ever touch it again. And I think those are the kinds of directions an entrepreneur wants to follow.
Totally. Oh man, it's so
Or
great.
a busy person in general.
I have a funny story about lights. You want to hear it?
Of course.
Okay, so Jason, I'm on set, and I got a little background in video too. And I had a film company, and we bring this guy on set. And this goes to what you're saying, like people just don't prepare. And this guy did not prepare to memorize his script. So we're shooting a commercial. And he gets on set, and he's so nervous, can't think of his script, can't get his lines down, starts sweating profusely. And he's like, oh my God, these lights are just so hot. I just can't think. And I'm leaning out, I'm like, those are LED lights, bro. There's no heat coming off those. Like, oh. But it just goes to show you're the hottest thing in the room. But it goes to show like what you've coached and what you teach and why we recommend you to all of our clients. Like when it comes to building your authority and having good video, because everyone looks at mine and they're like, Sammy, how did you do that? That looks so good. Your video looks so good. But I have so many different extraneous pieces that I've built over the years that make I have a softbox that is literally the size of like my garage, right? It's huge. And so when I saw your setup and what you're doing, I was like, that's what we need to teach people. But it comes down to, yes, you can teach them all that stuff. But I loved what you said about being prepared so that you can get a good take rather than focusing on the next take and the next one, because you took the time to write your script. You took the time to do the research. And then most importantly, you got it in front of you so that you could deliver it at your own pace on a teleprompter that is literally working with you, for you, not against you. Because that is
right.
So such good advice. Oh my God. We could almost make an entire show of that, the whole thing. But that is such good stuff, Jason. What do you think is, for people that are watching, a lot of my people that watch this, they have a pretty good setup. They've got the DSLR, they've got some stuff really working for them, but they see, yours is a virtual background, but you barely can tell. You can barely tell that it is. And I'm wondering, do you have a quick tip to test your lighting? So let's say, what can you do to know that what you're working with is the best of what you've got, right? Okay, so maybe you haven't ordered the lights that you suggested yet, but just with the stuff they have around that they've got maybe at home, what could they do to enhance their video with just some normal lights?
A true expert.
That's a loaded one.
A true expert would say it depends, right? It depends on what mess they've gotten into and what result they want. But ultimately, what I tell people is like, look, dude, you're nervous, whatever, just throw it all out the window. All you need is something to see you, something to light you, and something to hear you. And if you're talking about lighting, okay, get it close, not too close, far, not too far. You want soft lighting. You don't want harsh lighting. You want some shadows, so you want some directionality to your light. Don't get a ring light and put it directly in front of you. You're going to look like a deer in the headlights. So there's a few things not to do, and then by process of elimination, it's going to wind up in exactly the right place. If you know what you're looking for, you need to know the result you want, that softness and the direction, and where a good indicator, as far as if you want a tip, here's a tip. A good indicator of where to place your main light source, your key light, is 45 degrees in front of you and to one side. Ideally, the side of the room where the natural light is already coming from, place the key light on the same side. And then in order to tell if it's in the right place, look directly at the camera and check your nose shadow, that it's just grazing the other side of your cheek and that the light is hitting mostly this side, but also touching your opposite cheek just a little bit, creating this Rembrandt-style lighting, that triangle, that upside-down triangle. That's how you can tell. Because otherwise, if it was even further off to the side, it would just be side-lit. A little too dramatic for this purpose. Because we're reading the picture that you're painting for us, we're reading it non-verbally. So if you just have this, like, I don't know, just like way off to the side, or if you're being backlit or, oh my God, uplit, lit from the bottom, like a campfire story, that's not what you want. We're going to read that painting in a very different way than just normally, casually lit from off to the side. Show us the features of your face. Don't light yourself from the front. It's not a beauty glamour shoot. You're not being frontally flashed in the face with a camera. Just, this is like the most like agreeable position for a light, I would think.
I love that. 45. Bam. So good.
One
That's actually a solid tip. I think everyone has asked me, they're like, where do I put my camera or my light? And it is funny because people put those ring lights like dead center, and then they put their camera in the middle
you
of
get the
them.
rings in your eyes, you look like a cracked out reindeer. You just look, it makes you look crazy. And the other thing about that, here's another thing about lights. There's something that you'll never want to know. It's called the inverse square law, which determines how much contrast an object has in relation to how close it is to the light. So with that ring light, they tend to have it very close to their face too. So even if you turn it down and bring it close and you're properly exposed, what's going to happen is your background is going to have more contrast. It's going to be black. So you're going to be like evenly lit. All your shadows are filled. You have no features. You got rings in your eyes and your background is black. And so like I bought this even $150 ring light from Amazon and just put it right where they had it in the picture. And of course the thing's photoshopped. So you get some like Chinese lady looking perfect. And I don't look like that at all. It's just a matter of how light behaves. You're not playing by the rules of the way light behaves. It's how the universe works, dude. Like you can't, you can't just like poke it at your face. Like it's going to do what it's going to do. And the camera can't lie. Camera's going to show you exactly what
Camera's not going to lie. What's interesting too, speaking of not lying, when it comes to what happens when you get people's videos set up so well, they look amazing. It didn't even happen with me. Their confidence like skyrockets. And it's interesting because when your audio and your video look as good as how yours looks and like how mine finally looks, there's something to be said about the authenticity that you're able to deliver from your messaging. Have you noticed that with a lot of your students? They come alive once you get them looking so much better.
Yeah, for sure. I love seeing people see themselves in professional lighting for the first time, because it's like the first time they get to really look in a mirror or see themselves the way they want to be seen. And you use the word authentic. Like one of them big objections I get is, oh no, people are still buying from that relatable look where you just point your iPhone straight up your nostrils and look like just a friend talking on camera. I think that was true initially 10 years ago when Facebook was new, right? That was the look because it was relatable. It looks like something your friend would post. Mm-hmm. I think now it's just a little, A, it's phased out. B, we have access to tools and courses and any resource you need to get this look, even for a very achievable price at home by yourself. So if people know you can get it and you still choose to represent yourself on a webcam, it's your choice now. And it reflects on you. And the quality of your image reflects the quality of your product. And honestly, I think speaking on authenticity, if you asked me, this image of me that I'm showing you, that I'm showing up with, is authentically how I feel. This is how I see myself when I close my eyes and say, who am I? I look authoritative. I look knowledgeable. I look presentable. Because that's just, if I just did this iPhone thing, I'm like, that's not me. I am very anal. I'm very particular with how I build things. And I want my image to reflect that. So if I just pointed an iPhone at myself, that would be inauthentic to me. This is more authentic to me. So, and it's up to you at the end of the day, how you want to show up and present yourself. And one's not better than another, but just make sure you're not doing something because someone told you to. Do something because you want to.
Yeah. My dad used to say such a great line too. He's like, a job worth doing is worth doing well. And I always love that. And I think something even more that I heard from my friend Travis Brown, who does really amazing marketing and stuff. He gave me a framework to think of. If you were to be on your own eulogy or you just go to your own funeral, I mean, this is a little morbid, but if they were running a movie behind you and that was the feeds of the things that you had, what would you want that to represent? And what would you want that to look like? Right. And he was referring to like your Instagram feed. Would you want it to be a bunch of food? Would you want it to be a bunch of just like goofy, dumb stuff? Or would you want it to be a really genuine, thought out conversation? And I think about the legacy that we leave authentically. Like I know that my son, who when he turns, I don't know, maybe 14 or 15, we're going to give him his Gmail account that we've started. And we're leaving these videos in there. And what? Does he want to watch a bunch of iPhone videos? No. He wants to hear a message from us like this, nice and clean, said, hey, we love you. You were being a little turd today, and here's why. And what we learned from you is that you crawl out of your crib today. But it's gonna be so much more impactful down the road with video, with selling and being authoritative, as you're saying. What do you think is the future of video right now with all the new technology? Have you thought about that? Like where you're gonna go with it?
I've sure thought about it. Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room. You talking about AI stuff?
I'm actually talking about the vision wear, the AI goggles, and how that's gapping too. There's definitely a lot of AI, and there's always AI. That's not going away. But first, let's talk about the vision wear real quick, and then I do want to hear your thoughts on like Sora and the other stuff. But with the new vision wear, do you think that's going to be important for people to jump on? Making your video, like making your video accessible in those places and stuff like that.
You mean like the Apple goggles?
Yeah, the goggles.
Vision Pro.
Vision Pro, yes, sorry.
Man, I'm a nerd, I'm a tinkerer, but I'm not really a technologist. I'm interested, but not the one to make a prediction. I don't know if it would be valuable. I think if that's where attention is, then yeah, we're going to have to be there. And the one thing that's going to be different is you can watch a YouTube video inside a AR goggles. Like I have an Oculus. You can watch like Netflix or YouTube as if you're in a theater watching a flat screen. It's just a simulation. But in the near future, we're going to be able to my understanding is we're going to be able to walk through an environment in 3D and have an experience and be able to not necessarily touch, but walk around objects as though we're like in a sculpture gallery or something, right? So I don't know if, yes, we will be able to create those videos by scanning the environment with our iPhone, and it'll create a quick 3D scan and then replant that map around us. And man, I don't know if that's going to be something that we use for marketing. Yeah, probably with e-commerce and stuff. That's a big opportunity for them. Hard to say, man. It's just the Wild West. I think we're going to incrementally move into that space and see what that's all about. I don't know how much we're going to be have our faces strapped to a device. It's like how Zuckerberg thought we were going to be in the metaverse by now. Everyone just addicted to that thing. That didn't happen. Maybe we weren't ready, or maybe the headwear needs to be smaller, or whatever it's going to take. I don't know. Ready Player One? I ain't ready.
What about Sora? Is that it? Yeah, Sora by OpenAI.
Sora's the OpenAI one, and there's a few others on the way. When it comes to B-roll, it's stock footage, dude. Like if you can get away with it, get away with it. By all means, it's fine. Now, when it comes to building an AI avatar for yourself to speak on your behalf, here's what I'd say. If you are so easily replicable one-to-one by a machine, then I would almost say you're not interesting or expressive enough. That you should probably work on being more interesting and expressive so that a computer couldn't copy you. You know what I mean? I think if it's the same thing goes for GPT right now. If we're talking about text-based right now, it's text-based. It's pretty advanced, but I write pretty specific, deliberate copy that's pretty emotional and really drives home the point in the right way at the right time. Okay. If I ask GPT to write copy, if I prompt it the best I can, and there's people prompting better than I can prompt, the output is as good as the input, so your prompt has to be good. I'm not the best, but still. When I ask it to write marketing copy or even just like a casual letter, dude, it just comes off so fucking cheesy. It's just so like infomercially.
Yeah.
Tired of the old way of doing things. Here's the new and improved way. Like, dude, don't give me that. That's not going to work. I don't know. Do you really think that you can create a whole YouTube channel or like a 30-minute VSL or webinar where it's a copy of you? And do you think it's going to have all the right hand gestures, all the right pauses, all the right times it just looks away and thinks and then comes back to camera? Dude, like, probably not. And people pick up on that shit. They're going to pick up on the little like eye gestures if it never blinks or Okay, you can program the blinking in. It's going to try to get better and better. Just do it yourself, man. I made the system so easy that instead of trying to program the machine to do it, that'll take you 5 years. Just do it yourself. It'll take 30 minutes. And
Totally.
then talk about live implementations. You can't do that live. You'll still need a live setup. So it's just, I think it's more trouble than it's worth. I think audiences are going to want it. And I think you're going to be biting your nails, hoping no one finds out that you're really just releasing AI videos.
Totally. Yeah.
Long way of saying
That's a whole rabbit hole that we're not going to get into on this one, but I'm going to have you back because I love what you stand for, how well you've just showed up and just delivered so much amazing. It doesn't seem like it would be so deep when you talk about making on-screen authority, but I was just riveted by your energy and the way that you're showing up. And I know that you've had a lot of success with helping people get their stuff to look not just better, but to give them the confidence to really convey their message, sell their products, and be the best version of themselves on film. So I just wanted to just acknowledge you for that, which is why I really had you on here, because there's so many things that you could teach one-on-one. But I think one of the best things they could do is probably go and grab one of the downloads that you have, because you have a couple things that they could get. What's the first thing they should do after they watch this video?
It's a simple funnel flow. And the first thing you grab is the free gear list. And by all means, have a list of gear and good luck. Like, people, you know what I mean? People think the cool thing about when you're trying to transact a transformation, people come in thinking that they know what they want. They think they know what they want, but you know what they need. So you attract them with what they want. Hey, free gear list. And they're like, oh, I'll just buy all this shit from Amazon, plug it in. I know what I'm doing. And then they're going to stare at this pile of stuff and, oh God, and they're going to think of me. Be like, oh God, I guess I just better buy that course. That's the whole point of that 10-minute free training we have, because it'll introduce these objects to you, the items to you, and it will subvert every piece of information you thought you knew about how to use it. The first section, lighting, it's like, you want to get that giant softbox like you have, like they see on YouTube. Here's 10 reasons why not to do that. Here's what we use, and here's 5 reasons why we do it, and maybe a little cliffhanger in there. But we got to move on for time. But yeah, that's what you want. Then the same thing about audio. That mic that you have, the SM7B, best sounding mic, but how many different boxes and mixers and stuff do you have? You don't. You probably enjoy tinkering around with stuff. I tinker too. But what if you could have a wireless solution that, doesn't need an audio mixer and doesn't need EQ and all this stuff? Like, so there you go. So that's what we do. We transform their mindset from thinking what they want to, I know what you need, and I have 10 minutes to make that transformation. Because I like, the crazy thing is, this is a funnel that I'm running cold traffic to with Instagram ads. And within 15 minutes from first touch to purchase on a $600 product, that's all it is. It's 15 minutes, which is supposed to not be possible. Word on the street in the info marketing community is you can't sell courses with paid ads anymore. I don't know what y'all are doing, but I just made like a very good, concise funnel that just hits all the right points at exactly the right times and shows that if you really empathize with the person and where they're at, what state they're in, what they know, what they think they know, what they want, what they care about, and just move them through this pace that everyone's going to need something a little different. But if you can make a composite experience that will work for 80% of people, you'll be successful. And just show respect for their time and show respect for where they're at. And then offer something that's like precisely what they would need right now. And then deliver the best fucking product they've ever bought in their life. And then they'll buy anything else from you ever make.
Yeah,
so
totally.
That's my plan. I have more products on the way.
I can't wait. Well, I can't wait to have you back on when you have those. But on-screen authority, guys, is where you're going to want to go and catch Jason. And thank you so much for being here. I know that there is so many things that you and I are going to talk about anyways, but I just wanted to introduce you to my audience officially, because I've actually talked about this on other like lives and stuff. And I was like, it's not the best if you ever seen The Best Thing and then you tried to get targeted for it, but you can't get retargeted, I was so glad that we were able to connect and that I'm able to introduce my audience to you again. Thanks for the downloads. We've got the link in the show notes for everybody. So that's all you need to do is get in there, get into that little funnel and get that free gear download, because that is going to give you all of this stuff that you can build a big pile of things that are going to confuse you with on the floor. So that'll be perfect for you to get started with.
That's the first step.
That's the first step. But actually, it was, if you're even experienced and have a little more experience, I guarantee you're actually going to find some tips just from that. We joke about that, but there's a ton of value that actually helped me. It helped me with figuring out what I could do by getting this teleprompter to be with my iPad and have better engagement. So if you guys are just stuck and need a little bump to take your video not just to the next level, but beyond what you think, this is absolutely the spot to go and connect with Jason and his team over there. Jason, thank you so much for just spending some time with us. I know that you've got a busy day of planning to go walkabout, so I appreciate the time and excited that we were able to connect.
Thank you very much, man. It's great to meet your audience and just looking forward to next time.
Yeah, buddy. Well, totally. Thanks, brother. Now that was a great episode. Thanks for joining us and tuning in to the Healthy Profits Podcast.
Sammy and I are here to help you turn your health podcast into a treasure trove of opportunity for your listeners and your business. So join us twice a week as we unleash our favorite tips and strategies that have helped our clients at Evolve Podcasting turn their show into a thriving part of their business.
And make sure you subscribe and listen in as each episode builds upon each other. And I know that you're a generous leader, so make sure you share this podcast with your fellow wellness entrepreneurs so we can all grow together.
Until next time, stay healthy and keep thriving.
Bye.
Bye.